Okay, so today I'm going to be talking to you about why we should pay college athletes. So according to Brad Adgate, raking in around 800 million, over 100 million people viewing this event. This is about March Madness. And if you can see this semi-blurry chart, this is the National Hockey League, like overall, like yearly. This is the Major League Baseball, so MLB, NBA, NFL, and then this is college basketball, the March Madness tournament that happens every year. So I'm going to run down comparing them to professional sports, the shoe companies that basically own these players, and what we can potentially do to fix it. According to Devin Green, roughly 86% of all college athletes actually live in poverty. So these kids are forced to spend hours upon hours working out in the gym, lifting, going to class, and on top of that studying for class. They have to maintain grades. They have a lot of like team meetings and watching film for hours. These kids have no time for having a job or like generating any form of revenue. And these kids are stuck with like no money to spend whatsoever. So this is Zion Williamson, and I'll be using him in two examples. The first one would be, he was forced, they eliminated the one and done rule back in like 2006 or 2007, which is where you can go, if you're an elite athlete, you can go straight from high school basketball to the pros. And players like Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, all went straight to the pros and didn't have to worry about college. And a lot of people actually end up coming from poverty. So these kids are coming from like nothing, like living in like government housing, and they're forced to go 1 year into college for just because the colleges want to use them for money and the NBA approves it. And these kids are trying to make money for themselves and like support their family and bring them out of this poverty. And people like Zion Williamson, who has no business playing college basketball, goes in and just kills everybody. But they cannot like bring their parents out of poverty, and it's just a bad deal all in all. And then these are the three players: Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, LeBron James, and oh yeah, back to Zion. If he were to potentially get injured, there's no insurance on his, like there's no contracts in the NBA, so he could have completely skipped college. But if he ends up injuring himself, which brings me into my next example, the shoe companies. If he were to injure himself due to a shoe malfunction like this, you can see that's his foot. This man is about 280 pounds, he's 6'9", probably one of the most powerful athletes out there right now, and he's a freshman in college. And he actually had to miss multiple games because of this shoe malfunction that the shoe brands that sponsor the schools require him to wear, and the schools themselves require him to wear. And he has no say in what, like, the shoe, it doesn't matter if the shoe's uncomfortable or not, like, they are forced to wear these things. And if he would have sustained a career-ending injury, maybe like tore his ACL or something, that's done. Like if his parents, if he wanted to help, like supply money to his family, like help his family out, his life's over in the sports world, and all because he was forced to go to college. And then this is an NBA legend, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He said, "Despite the hours I put in every day practicing, learning plays, and traveling around the country to play games, and despite the millions of dollars our team generated for UCLA, both in cash and in recruiting students to attend the university, I was always too broke to do much but study, practice, and play." And then this is just a little cartoon. But, so yeah, they can have schedules up to, like I said, working out all day, practice, because they'll have like 2-a-days. There's no time for jobs. Shoe companies also, they get free advertisement from them. So if little kids see Zion Williamson, this basketball phenom, playing in Nike, they could go out and be like, I want to play Nike. And Zion is just a pawn in the shoe game's game, basically, getting free advertisement from him. Whereas the NBA players are doing the exact same thing, but getting paid millions for it. Like Michael Jordan makes as much as he made an NBA contract each year just off sponsorships alone. Yeah, so I'm not saying that we need to pay these kids six-figure sums or some insane amount, because obviously they are getting free college. But on top of that, I feel like it's just human decency to give them at least like minimum wage or something, so they can have some form of money to live off of, and at least do some, like, be able to live a little bit in college and have a little bit of fun.